Hey folks, welcome back to the channel where we celebrate the timeless classics of the boating world.
Today, we are taking a deep dive into one of the most enduring and character-filled British yachts ever built, the Fairways Marine Fisher series trawlers. These vessels emerged in the early 1970s as rugged motorsailers that perfectly blend the no-nonsense toughness of a North Sea working trawler with the comforts of a true cruising home. Whether you are a seasoned Bluewater sailor dreaming of reliable passages or a coastal cruiser who wants to stay dry and warm even when the weather turns nasty, the Fisher series delivers in spades.
Built by Fairways Marine with later involvement from Northshore Yachts, the range includes popular models such as the compact Fisher 30 and the more spacious Fisher 37, along with others up to the 46-footer, all sharing a distinctive heritage that has earned them a loyal cult following around the world.
These boats are not about flashy speed or modern gadgets. They are about honest seamanship, bulletproof construction, and the simple joy of being at sea in a vessel that feels alive with history and purpose. So grab a cup of tea, settle in, and let us explore what makes the classic Fairways Marine Fisher series such an icon.
The key features of the Fisher series begin with construction that was ahead of its time in terms of strength and longevity.
Every hull is laid up in solid fiberglass with generous thicknesses, often to full Lloyd standards, creating a structure that resists flexing and pounding far better than many lighter production boats of the era. The result is a boat that still feels solid underfoot decades later, with minimal risk of core issues if properly maintained. At the heart of each model is a heavy displacement design, typically weighing in around £14,000 for the 30-footer and over £30,000 for the 37-footer, giving them that planted, reassuring feel when the waves build. Power comes from proven marine diesels, often Volvo Penta or Perkins units ranging from 35 to 80 horsepower, paired with large three-bladed propellers that provide excellent low-speed control and thrust in tight harbors or against strong currents.
Fuel and water tanks are sensibly sized for extended cruising, and the electrical systems were thoughtfully laid out with plenty of room for upgrades over the years. Safety is baked in everywhere you look, from high bulwarks that keep green water out to robust stanchions and lifelines that give you confidence when moving about on deck in a blow. These are boats built for real use, not just weekend showpieces, and that practical mindset shines through in every detail.
Design-wise, the Fisher series draws directly from traditional North Sea fishing boats and the elegant double-enders of the Colin Archer school, resulting in a profile that is instantly recognizable and timelessly handsome. The hull features a pronounced sheer line that rises gracefully to a high, flared bow, which slices through chop and keeps the foredeck remarkably dry even when motoring into a head sea. Deep bilges house the ballast, usually cast iron and comprising 40% or more of total displacement, which lowers the center of gravity and delivers superb stability without the snappy roll you find in lighter fin-keeled yachts. The stern is often a graceful canoe shape or rounded transom, which helps the boat lift over following seas and reduces the chance of being pooped in heavy weather. Decks are wide and uncluttered, protected by those tall bulwarks and capped with teak or sturdy fiberglass for shore footing. The raised pilothouse is the signature element, positioned amidships for perfect balance and offering nearly 360-degree visibility through large windows, many of which open or slide for ventilation. An external helm in the cockpit lets you enjoy fine weather days without leaving the fresh air, while the ketch rig with its mizzen stepped well aft keeps the sail plan low and easy to manage, even for a couple or solo sailor. The overall aesthetic is purposeful yet elegant, with bronze fittings, teak trim, and classic portholes that age beautifully and tell stories of voyages past. Stepping below decks reveals interior features that make the Fisher series feel like a proper floating home rather than a cramped weekend camper. Warm teak paneling covers the bulkheads and overheads, creating a rich, golden glow that instantly soothes the soul after a long day on the water. In the pilothouse you will find a dedicated helm station with a comfortable seat, chart table space, and settees that convert into extra berths, turning this space into the social hub where everyone gathers to watch the horizon or shelter from rain. The main saloon features an L-shaped dinette with a solid table that drops down for extra sleeping room, surrounded by bookshelves, lockers, and drawers that swallow up stores for weeks at sea. Galley areas are sensibly placed near the companionway for quick access, usually equipped with a gimbaled 2 or 3 burner stove, oven, deep sink, and plenty of work surface, so cooking remains safe and enjoyable even when the boat is heeled or rolling gently.
Ventilation is excellent thanks to multiple opening hatches and door aid vents that keep air flowing without letting spray inside.
In the Fisher 30, the forward cabin offers a cozy V-berth with storage underneath and a separate heads compartment complete with marine toilet and basin, keeping things simple yet functional for 2 to 4 people. Larger models like the Fisher 37 expand on this with a dedicated forward double cabin, a spacious saloon that can sleep additional crew via pilot berths, and in some layouts an aft cabin with its own head, providing true privacy for couples or families on longer trips.
The teak and holly soles, brass accents, and thoughtful grab rails throughout make movement safe at sea, while the overall layout encourages relaxed living, whether you are anchored in a quiet cove or crossing the channel in autumn gales. Performance aspects highlight why the Fishers have such a reputation for capability rather than outright speed.
These are displacement hulls that love to settle into their natural groove at 6 to 8 knots under power, sipping fuel at an economical rate that lets you cover serious distances without constant refueling stops. The long keel and skeg-hung rudder deliver exceptional tracking, so once you set a course the boat holds it steadily even in confused seas or when the autopilot is doing the work.
Under sail, the ketch rig shines in moderate to strong breezes on a reach or run, where the balanced sail plan can push the boat along at 7 knots or more with minimal fuss, the mizzen helping to steady the motion and reduce rolling.
To windward they are more deliberate, making 5 to 6 knots in a good force 5 while staying comfortable and dry, though owners quickly learn that the big diesel is there to help when beating into a chop. The heavy displacement and fine entry mean the boat drives through waves rather than bouncing over them, producing a gentle, predictable motion that reduces fatigue on long passages and keeps the crew smiling even after days at sea.
Hull speed for the 37-footer sits around 7.5 knots, and the design ensures the boat rarely exceeds it dramatically but feels utterly secure well beyond what lighter boats can handle. Real-world stories from owners describe crossing the North Sea in force 8 winds or riding out Atlantic swells with complete confidence, the flared bows throwing spray aside and the deep keel preventing any leeway that could make life uncomfortable. Whether motoring steadily across a calm bay or reefing down for a brisk sail, the Fisher rewards a thoughtful approach with effortless progress and a deep sense of security. The unique selling points of the Fairways Marine Fisher series truly set it apart in a world of look-alike production yachts. First is the unmistakable character and soul that comes from a design rooted in working boat heritage, giving every Fisher a personality that modern white plastic boats simply cannot match.
You feel connected to generations of seafarers the moment you take the wheel, and the boat ages gracefully with patina on the teak and stories etched into the varnish. Build quality is legendary, with over-engineered components that last decades and straightforward access for maintenance, meaning many Fishers are still going strong 50 years on with only routine care. The all-weather Pilothouse is a game-changer for Northern European or Pacific Northwest cruising, letting you enjoy the view and stay warm and dry while others are huddled below in lesser boats. For Liveaboards, the practical layouts, generous storage, and efficient systems make long-term life afloat realistic and enjoyable without constant compromises. The ketch rig is forgiving and easy to shorten sail quickly, ideal for short-handed crews or those who prefer not to wrestle huge genoas. Community is another huge plus, with Fisher owners forming a supportive network that shares knowledge, parts, and encouragement across continents.
Perhaps most appealing today is the value these classics represent, offering genuine Bluewater capability, spacious comfort, and timeless style at prices that make extended cruising accessible rather than a luxury reserved for the few. They encourage a slower, more mindful style of boating where the journey itself becomes the reward, and every landfall feels earned.
In the end, the classic Fairways Marine Fisher series stands as a shining example of what thoughtful yacht design can achieve when priorities are placed on seaworthiness, comfort, and lasting quality over fleeting trends. These boats have carried families across oceans, provided peaceful retreats in remote anchorages, and proven that slow and steady truly wins the race when the sea decides to test you. If you are searching for a yacht that will become a trusted companion for years of adventures, one that turns heads in every harbor for all the right reasons, the Fisher series deserves a serious look. They remind us that the best boats are the ones that feel like old friends, ready to take you anywhere with confidence and bring you home safely every time.
Thanks so much for joining me on this tour of the Fisher legacy. If you have owned one, sailed aboard one, or are considering adding a Fisher to your life, share your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to hear your stories. Give the video a thumbs up if it inspired you, subscribe for more in-depth looks at classic yachts, and ring the bell so you never miss an episode. Until next time, fair winds, safe passages, and we will see you out there on the water.